Once upon a time, a wealthy man had 2 sons. One day, the younger son approached him and said, "Father, give me my share of the inheritance now." Even though the request was unexpected and bold, the father agreed and divided his wealth between his 2 sons. The younger son gathered his belongings and set off on a journey to a distant land. There, he spent his inheritance on parties, extravagant living, and reckless behavior, enjoying every moment without a thought for the future. Soon, a severe famine hit the land, and the young man found himself penniless and in desperate need. His wealth was gone, and he had no food or shelter. The once carefree son now felt the weight of his poor choices. With no other options, the young man took a job feeding pigs. He was so hungry that he wished he could eat the food given to the pigs. This job was especially humiliating for him, as pigs were considered unclean animals in his culture. As he sat among the pigs, the young man came to his senses. He thought, "Even my father's servants have plenty of food, and here I am starving. I will go back home and ask my father to forgive me and take me in as a servant." With a humble heart, the young man began the long journey back to his father's house. He rehearsed his apology, feeling both shame and hope. He wondered how his father would react. While the son was still far off, the father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son began to apologize, but the father interrupted him with joy. The father called his servants and said, "Bring the best robe, put a ring on his finger, and sandals on his feet. Prepare a feast, for my son was lost and is found." The whole household rejoiced and celebrated his return. Meanwhile, the older brother was working in the fields. When he heard the music and dancing, he asked a servant what was happening. Upon learning that his brother had returned and was being celebrated, he became angry and refused to join the feast. The father came outside and pleaded with the older son to join the celebration. He said, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we must celebrate, because your brother was lost and is now found." One lesson I learned from this parable is that of repentance and restoration. The parable shows the joy of restoration. The father's decision to throw a feast emphasizes that God rejoices when a sinner repents and returns, highlighting the value of every soul. What are your own lessons learned? Please let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new parable or Bible story. Let's spread the message of God's unconditional love and forgiveness.